Hi everyone, Paraskevia. I'm Mr. Smith, and today we're going to be looking at the three number systems required to count from 11 to 100 in Georgian. The first system is going to be 11 to 20, which are the pieces that you need to get from then 21 all the way to 100. It's a bit systematic. I find it quite fascinating. I hope you can share my fascination through the slides that I produced today. And so with that said, let's go. Slide number 1. So imagine if you were to explain the numbers 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 to somebody learning English. You probably tell them that the word teen is really important and that with the numbers from 1 to 10 plus teen, you've got it. But actually it wouldn't be right, would it? We don't say 3-teen, we'd say 13. We'd say 16 and 17 and 18, but we wouldn't say 5-teen. So our number system requires a few tweaks to get it right. And the Georgian system is very similar, thankfully. What you need first as the equivalent to teen is met'i. Met'i. Met'i is essential for all of these words. T at the beginning is essential for most of them. So the idea in my head was always tertmet'i, and then the number squashed in the middle. I'm going to start with an example. Erti tertmet'i. Tertmet'i. Erti tertmet'i. 11. Ori tormet'i. 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 Now, Sami is here. Sammet'i, following the formula, remove the I. Now we've got to remove the M because we'd have a double M. And the TS isn't in the word. It's been compressed because there is obviously a TS single character in Georgian. So it's shrunk down entirely from sammet'i, which is not 13, to tzameti. Tsamet'i. Tsamet'i. That one's quite easy, but it's going to be repeated a little bit in 19, but I don't want to jump ahead. Tsamet'i. Otsi. Totkhmet'i. Totkhmet'i. Back to the formula again. Tkhutmet'i. Tkhutmet'i. This one has a t and a t and a t. This one has a t and a t and a t. This one has a t and a t and a t. So when they follow the formula, there's a lot of t's coming out, right? Tkhutmet'i is also quite important because of the way we look at time. 15 minutes past, 15 minutes to, see you in 15 minutes. 15 minutes, თხუთმეტი, is frequently used in other expressions in our daily life. And so this one is quite important to learn. And thankfully, it's one that follows the system. I'd like to move forward into tekvsmet'i, otsი, tekvsmet'i, 16. ჩვიდმეტი. Ჩვიდმეტი. That's 17. Now, შვიდი is 7. But we don't say tkhvidmet'i. This one has been shrunk down to chvidmet'i. Why it's changed from from the sh to the ch, I don't know. Perhaps in the Georgian ear, tsh sounds a bit like ch anyway. So why not, you know? Again, it's shrinking it down, simplifying in 17, ჩვიდმეტი. 18. This one, the sneakiest number in the Georgian number system. I love it. Okay, number 8 is rva. Rva, number 8. 18, you have to change the V and the R over. You invert the R and the V to get So instead of saying, for example, tvramet'i, so you think tvramet'i. No, it's going to be tvramet'i. You flip it over, it's ultra sneaky. I guess this is how a Georgian knows if you really know Georgian, I suppose, because there's no rhyme or reason to this one. But it is there, it's tvramet'i. And yeah, I loved saying it once I realized how sneaky it was. So tvramet'i. Okay. Tskhramen'i. This one, welcome. After the sneakiness of this one's super welcome because tskra is 9. Tskra is 9. They don't put a second T on it. It's not tkhutmet'i. They just keep it simple. So it's basically 9 plus teen. So this one is the truest, I think, to the formula in its entirety of having a base number, tskra, which hasn't changed at all, and then met'i, which is the teen word. So this one is following that one. And then we get otsi, yeah, otsi. And with all of these numbers, for the second slide, we're going to introduce the more complex nature of numbers going from 20, 40, 60, 80 to 100, and the middle numbers too. The number system in Georgian requires very sound knowledge of all of these before you begin. So I would suggest just going through them. Tertmet'i, tormet'i, tsamet'i, totkhmet'i, თხუთმეტი, tekvsmet'i, CHvidmet'i, tvramet'i, tskhramet'i, rva. You see? Otsi. So sneaky. You're so sneaky, number 18. Otsi. Slide 2 deals with the seemingly confusing parallel systems that we use to create the rest of the numbers in Georgian up until 100. We need the numbers 10 to 20 that we just studied to create all of the rest of them. It seems almost too simple to be true, but it is actually quite literally a mathematical naming system. 20, otsi. Number 30, otsdaati. Otsdaati. This comes from 20, da plus ati, 10. 20 plus 10, 30. What's 30 in Georgian? Otsdaati. Written here correctly. I've spaced them out so you can see the components, but that's the number 30, otsdaati. If you want to know 40, 40 is 2 otsis. 20 and 20 is 40. So the key here, as I've indicated, is m. M is adding the multiples of 20 into these numbers. Ormotsi, 2 motsi, 2 otsi, 40. Ormotsi, 2 20s, 40. Now 50 is going to be 2 20s and a 10. So we repeat this one. Ormotsdaati. Again, ormots, 40, which is 2 20s, da and 10. Ormotsdaati, 50. Similarly, 60. That's 3 multiples of 20. So it's from sami, 3. Samotsi, samotsi, 60. Samotsi, 20 to the power of 3. Samots plus 10, 60 plus 10, 70, gives us samotsdaati. Samotsdaati. And see here, sami, m is our multiplier, ots, our 20, da, and 10. So it's 3 20s plus a 10. Logically, that's a 70. Samotsdaati. 80, again, multiple of 20, 4 20s. Logically, otsi, othmotsi, oთხმოცი. Oთხმოცი plus 10, daati, is 90. So, otzdaati is 90. And so if you look at the parallel systems, the even multiples of 20 are components of the odd numbers. We just need to add that extra 10. And the numbers within, for example, 55 or maybe 76, all form part of the teen numbers that we just studied. I don't really want to go fully from the whole list. You need to know this system before you begin to count. You need to know both of these parallel systems and how they flow into each other. So, 30, otsdaati. 40, ormotsi. 50, ormotsdaati. 60, samotsi. 70, samotsdaati. 80, otchi, multiples of 4 20s. Othmotsi. 90, 10 more. Ormotsdaati. And here, after you've run out of oxygen and you can barely speak, 100 is just asi. As 10 is ati, 100 is asi. And when we get to other numbers a little bit higher, we'll see these repeated. But there are the systems that you're going to need to count to 100. And they are going to be quite valuable, all three from today's class. So good luck, try to memorize them, follow the formula, get them inside your head, because when you talk about your age, for example, or somebody else tells you about their family, which we looked at before, perhaps they tell you their age and things like that. And so we don't normally in our lives live over 100. So we must be very aware and very flexible with at least how to construct these numbers when we talk about who we are and our family in general, because 1 to 100 more or less describes the natural lifespan of a person. And of course, other uncountable ways in which these numbers are going to be useful. Did you get it? Good. That is the last slide of today. Those are the three systems you're going to need to learn to count to 100 in Georgian. Next week, we're going to be looking at the physical geography of Georgia, and it's more or less word-based, memorized lists of things like rivers and lakes and mountains and just the geographical area of Georgia itself. Quite a lot of words, so it's just lists for next week. No math, I promise. Just another thank you to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to teach you, to show you my own way of understanding Georgian. It is very useful to have something else to think about during these difficult times. So, once again, thank you for your time, and I'll see you next week. Ciao.